Lagavulin aged 11 years Offerman Edition. What's this like, and should you grab one? Stay tuned for the Whiskey Whistle. Heyo, my whiskey friends. Mark here at Whiskey Whistle on YouTube, sharing a little whiskey awesomeness from Winnipeg, the center of North America, bringing you Lagavulin 11-year-old Offerman Edition. This is a 46% ABV Lagavulin that's been matured in rejuvenated and refill American oak casks. Let's get that poured, shall we? Super happy this is 46% ABV, and the price is pretty good. Roughly about the same price as the 8-year-old, that's like 48%, so good price. And this bottle comes thanks to my second in command, the vice president of the Winnipeg Whiskey Club, James Burton. Thanks a lot, James. Really appreciate that. This is my first taste of this. I'm super excited about that. I think that's got a little bit of color added, but it does have some rechar, I believe, rechar American oak casks, which might give it that glow. Let's have a look at that together, shall we? So what do you see there? Sort of a dark coppery tone. I love that to be natural, and if it is, that's awesome. If they've added just a dash of color to add to that batch, that's okay. Well, let's see how it is, shall we? Here on Whiskey Whistle, we'll check out the color as we already did. Then we'll check out the legs of the whiskey, then the nose, the palate, and the finish with water also, and then give it the Whisky Whistle Whisky Score. All right, so legs of Offerman Edition Lagavulin 11. What a guy, hey? Nick Offerman, also known as Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec, which was a great show. One of those shows that I think is going to be watched for decades and representative of its time. Okay, so the legs for this Offerman Edition, let's have a look. Pretty quick first legs. The secondary legs are fairly slow and nicely trickly, which is nice. I'm thinking we're going to have a nice mouthfeel here. All right, so the nose for this 11-year-old. It's so interesting. It's about halfway between the 2017 12-year-old and the 2019 12-year-old. A mix of lemon and vanilla. With some baked apples in there. Some almond. Interesting. It's spring. People are mowing their lawns. Pardon me. Okay, let's get onto the palate. Cheers, everybody. Wow. Super sweet. I think those rechar casks have done a really good job of ramping up the sweetness for this 11-year-old. Vanilla, lemon, a little bit of antiseptic, something like a barbecued ham. So slightly saline, a little bit of a saltiness to it. Saltiness. Very sweet, very candied. Candied pineapple, a little bit of candied mango in there. A little bit of a tropical edge to this. All right, let's add some water here. The finish is medium to long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll stop there. Actually, a very waxy finish as well. My mouth feels a little bit waxy, which is nice, and that's a really loud lawnmower. That's right over there. What do you do? Now, I think Lagavulin is a top 10 volume selling single malt Scotch whiskey. It's really hard to find those rankings. I wish that they would publish that more often. It looks as though 1 through 5 is, let's see, Glenfiddich, Glenlivet, Macallan, Singleton. Now that's 3 distilleries, so that's a bit weird, but that's how they do it. It's how they roll. And then Glenmorangie, I think maybe Bowmore is next. I can't recall. I know that Glen Grant is in there. I'm pretty sure Lagavulin as well. That's a big seller. A little bit price prohibitive. And I was a bit frustrated because when the 8-year-old came out here in Manitoba, they charged $100 for it. So I haven't bought any. So let's get into the nose and the palate with water added. With water you get more vanilla, more fresh pineapple, really fresh pineapple here. A little bit of freshly sawn oak and a touch of cedar maybe. Definitely some smoke. That smoked ham in there. And the palate, cheers. It sort of toned down that sweetness and allowed some fruits to come out as well. Orchard fruits, the pineapple, the mango. Deliciously sweet, slightly spicy, slightly astringent, smoked peaty finish here that's very long, very lovely. That's really nice. All right, well, it's that time, folks. Let's get on to the Whisky Whistle Whisky Score for Lagavulin 11-year-old, age 11 years, the Offerman Edition. What's that going to be? It's going to be 90 out of 100. You heard it, 90 out of 100 is the Whisky Whistle Whisky Score for Lagavulin Offerman Edition, 11 years old. Very interesting. It's nice that it's stronger. It's 46% ABV, not like the 43% 16-year-old or the what is it called? The Distillery Edition. So you're getting a bit more strength there. I wish that were more natural in color. I'm pretty sure we have a little bit of embellishment there, but it's not bad. It's not quite as dark as the 16, which has maybe way too much of the E150A added. But a very lovely Lagavulin, and if you've never tried Lagavulin, that's a very good introduction to the distillery. Price-wise, in a strange twist of fate, this is actually very cheap in Canada. It's $120 in Ontario. Meanwhile, at Total Wine, it goes for $140 US. That's really bizarre. It is probably not really worth it for $140 US. But at 120, it's a little bit less than the 16-year-old, and a very different and a good introduction to Lagavulin, as I said, along with the higher strength, which is nice. Well, hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking the link right over here, that little emblem, and then hit the bell so you're notified of the future Whiskey Whistles. And if you're in Winnipeg, you better join the Winnipeg Whiskey Club, all right? And if you're enjoying what I'm doing here on Whisky Whistle, then jump into the Whisky Whistle crew on Patreon and support the channel. Patreon.com/Whisky Whistle. Take care, everybody. We'll see you for the next one. Goodbye now.